Oh, just like a raw cut?
Yeah, basically. Studio live stream. Studio live stream in the morning with the jackasses of radio.
We're not streaming though, are we?
No, we're not streaming. No.
Ah, I see.
It's just a video. So we'll see if we can
makes our room look very big.
It does. More than... Okay, yeah.
I look so tiny. I look like a tiny little thing in the corner of the room.
All right, I'm gonna hit the mics and we're gonna get ready to go here. Just check the soundboards.
Okay. I'm silly and wired and tired and tipsy. Sound the alarms.
Come on, man.
All right, mic's going.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Newsflash, asshole! I've been hearing it the entire goddamn time!
Welcome back to the Waterford Podcast. My name is Josh, and on the couch, and you can see her this time, I hope, if everything works out. If not, this is not really what I thought. But there's Brittany, and now we've got a lot to get into, so let's get into it. And the signature backing bed is back on the air, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. A lot of people call this kind of a thing a crutch. I know Opie and Anthony were a big thing about the backing music being a crutch, but you know what? I kind of like it. I mean, how are you feeling about it? You said that you gave it a positive review lately. It's
no.
You said it's kind of good for filling in dead air.
No, I said that would be the purpose for it.
Oh, okay.
Classical sense, traditionally speaking, a backing track was used because we can't have dead air. You got to be blah 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 blah.
Well, no, this is true.
But now
yeah.
with the Relax podcast, you either have music extremely lightly in the background. Take, for instance, something like the Sleepycast podcast that is still a beloved podcast, even though it's only on for 2 years.
That would have to be one of the most offensive podcasts I've ever listened to, actually. I remember listening to 1 or 2 episodes. Well, no, I remember walking in. So, you were asleep to it, and I came into the room and I was listening to it. I was like, how are you sleeping to this?
Foul. They talk about the most foul things sometimes.
It was hilarious.
But it's hilarious.
It was beyond hilarious.
It's beloved. There is just only in the last 2 months there has been 2 like 10-hour compilations made, and they're brilliant. And so I'm enjoying listening to those. But it's really funny, and it must be maybe Chris O'Neill's probably input on it.
Oh yeah, Oni.
They have the most Oni from Newgrounds.
No, Oni from Wexford, boy. He's a strawberry. He's a strawberry.
He came to prominence on the internet because of Newgrounds as an animator doing cartoons.
Yeah.
But
Same
anyway,
as Eagle Raptor.
Yeah, exactly. Oni, probably said it must be his input because they have the most faint classical music underneath it.
Yeah.
And it's so faint, like you actually have to kind of like listen for it. And it's so faint that it does actually, no matter how ADD riddled your brain is like me, you can actually tune it out.
Yeah.
It's really funny. How they use that it's like very sophisticated classical music.
So basically music. 2 stumps ups of what you're giving us.
No, I don't. There's some of the selections I don't like.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to be honest with you that are like too frantic and too even this is kind of on the edge of like too difficult to blend on the background. But we don't want to be focusing on what's going on with the production.
Not too much.
It could be a whole thing of like, I don't want to draw attention to it because maybe now people that are fine. Now that's perfect. I like that volume.
I didn't do anything.
You
No, the song is just, it's looping.
It faded. Okay.
Wonderful.
Anyway.
Speaking of things you don't like, Britt, you got the corona vaccine recently. You got the second round. And you weren't... We were hoping to do this podcast midweek, but Britt was kind of... You were still feeling pretty adverse effects from the second round of it.
That was my ambivert personality having to recover from a friend visiting. I needed to charge my social energy bar.
Well, I mean, we were supposed to do it one night during the week, and then, I mean, you kind of checked out because you weren't feeling good. And then the next night, I wasn't feeling good. And now here we are. It's Friday night, and
I'm feeling right.
Feeling fine. But how you feel? And what was if you could take one takeaway away? I just want to say it again because I want to just say here away again. If you could explain to people out there who might be, maybe they're going to get it, maybe they're not. That's your choice. I mean, my body, my choice, and all that BS, whatever. What would you? What's your experience with it?
Oh, well, my takeaway is that all of them people who pretending like they got like kicked in the butt by the second dose and saying it's like, you lying.
Really?
I'm just kidding. I know that everybody's been having
different reactions
to it, and I know that the consensus out there is like the second dose like really packs a punch. And honestly, I know, but I'm like, honestly, those people that probably felt really sick after getting the vaccine are the same types of people who are like, well, I don't get the flu shot because every time I do, I get the flu from it. And you're like, that's not how it works, asshole. So, okay, and I knew it, and I totally called it. I told Miranda, I'm like, yeah, most people that are probably complaining about how much it sucked getting the second dose are probably the babies that complain about that always get sick from like the flu shot. And she's like, true. And like, I was so determined and willed that like, I'm not gonna feel sick. And I was fine. I really was. I was hyping myself up to like, for it to kick my ass.
Well, I mean, like, the first Saturday night you had it, you felt a little fluey during the night. You didn't feel particularly good.
In the very middle of the night, like kind of like
in the middle of the night.
I was kind of sleeping. I was sleeping next to my friend. Because we decided that we would let her have the comfortable bed, but I needed a comfortable bed too, so it was gonna be too silly for all of us to sleep in separate places. So I think partly my asshole kept me awake all night.
Oh my god.
Because I'm so comfortable sleeping next to you that I'm just kind of loosey-goosey, fancy-free. So I'm pretty sure the whole night, like, some underlining part of my brain was still awake because it's like, you can't fart. Come
on, man.
Ugh. Yuck. Oh.
Do you ever have that situation?
I just wasn't aware women farted.
Oh, they fart.
Oh,
you know this.
Jeez, am I being facetious? I've witnessed a breeze of fecal matter coming my way in the morning sometimes.
A breeze of fecal matter.
You sound like Donald Duck after a Vicodin.
He's like spitting up, like he's like choking on his own saliva in the corner of the room, on the bathroom floor. That's what that sounds like.
Well, I mean, you're making me think of the South Park thing. I was like, no, we go in, we kill.
Okay,
You
but
loser.
Talking about South Park references that I'm not gonna get, and
too much detail about?
No, and just like, I can't think of the word.
All right, we'll move on without the word.
Shame on you for bringing up stupid references. I hate when you do that.
Stupid references?
Yes. Anyway, talking about the vaccine, I know that and even my mom, okay.
There's definitely people out there who got that reference.
Yeah, whatever, we're stupid.
It's stupid.
No.
Anyway, go on.
I'm sorry.
No, there's people out there who well, that's the whole reason I won't get the vaccine. I don't want to jump in line in front of, say, somebody like your mom, for instance. Wave to your mom, by the way.
My mom ain't gonna see this shit.
My mother's my sister. But
No, that'd be. No. Can you do a Jack Nicholson?
In what context?
Because his sister was his mother.
No, what?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what?
His sister was his mother.
Oh, right. He grew up
thinking that they put it as his grandmother actually.
The thing
being his
about
mother.
not knowing that your sister's your mother are twofold. One, the fold of the left side of the vagina. Two, the right side of the vagina. And Jack Nicholson. I don't know. He's something like that. I mean, what do you think?
You had the face right, the eyebrows right, and the little sneer on your face. Okay, talking about the vaccine, I kind of avoided looking into anything of like. I know it is interesting. There's plenty of people that are like hell no, I'm not going to get that vaccine, and I understand. Everybody has every right to wait until the vaccine is FDA approved.
It's not currently. Okay.
No.
Because it's been rushed out.
It's been...
Even though it's been around for the best part now, we can safely assume about 5 months.
Yeah.
And it's not been FDA approved in that time.
But it was only in...
Wow.
No. It was only in development for less than a year. Think about it. A vaccine was made in November. This shit started happening in March. That's really short time. So there's really long durations of time that have to happen for a vaccine to become FDA approved.
Yeah.
And that shit's going to usually take like a year and a half.
Well, of course, it's government bureaucracy. I mean, we all know how...
Yeah. And that's the thing. That's the thing about me. It's like, I understand that's a very I understand that can be a generous timeline, and as it should be, because that's a very serious thing. But were we not supporting like developing a vaccine, and now all of a sudden people are like and the states took that on board. They're like, yeah, shit, we'll find it. We'll make a vaccine, and we did. That's awesome.
Yeah, which one did you get, by the way? Everybody's been asking me this recently. Which one did you get? The Moderna or Pfizer?
I didn't shop around. Pfizer was the first one to come out to be released to the public it is under what it's called the Emergency Act.
The Emergency Act, yeah.
So
greatest act I ever signed. Greatest act. Great.
So,
it was so fast. It was
so
fast.
Literally, you are part of. If you're getting the vaccine, you are actually part of like the biggest human trial ever.
Yeah, and that's the thing which is why.
And it technically it's not on trial. But it's not approved yet, so it's that weird middle ground. It is a trial.
It's a big thing about for me is, and the reason I won't get it.
It's past the phase of like you're gonna die or like have some very big side effects. I think we're beyond that.
Well, let me kind of cut into this. I mean, the big reason I won't get it, and a couple of people have said to me like, oh, you're an anti-vaxxer. It's like no.
Wait, have you really been talking to people about this? I've talked to people about this.
Yeah, openly. I talk about everything openly. Except maybe...
Do you talk about your...
I don't talk about our sex life.
Heteronormativity?
Their heteronormativity. No, I will talk very openly about things such as this, to quote Miss Dumbass Caroline or whatever she was. Such as, and in therefore, such as. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but like, no, the whole thing about me not getting it, number one, it's twofold. Number one, I don't want to cut in front of somebody like your mother, say, for instance, who needs to get a vaccine.
I know people say that.
Okay, no, that's one thing. That's one thing, and let me finish it. The second bit is, yes, I have a point about when, as I've said, people are like, are you an anti-vaxxer? No, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I believe in vaccination of babies. I believe in, like, I'm not like Jenny McCarthy and Mr. Jim Carrey.
The whole narrative about
yeah.
Vaccines give your children autism.
Yeah.
Like science proved that long ago that's not true.
Yeah.
And now
and that's my point. Science has proved this. Now, you want to talk about following the science. Here's the thing. I know these vaccines work. I don't get a flu shot every year. I don't get the flu every year. I get the flu once in a blue moon.
Can I say something about that?
Hold on. I get the flu once in a blue moon. I don't get the flu shot.
That's actually like a lot of times to get a flu. The flu once in a blue moon. That's a lot.
Rarely. No, I mean I rarely get the flu. I've gotten it a couple of times in the past. That's all, and I've worked through it. It's nasty. It's not nice. I've seen my dad go through it. You know, like we're talking like cancer or AIDS here or something. I saw my father.
I've
go
seen
through
many
the
suffer
flu.
from flu. No,
No, but I mean,
go ahead.
Hold on. the thing is about these vaccines have already, to me, they've proven to work. The polio vaccine, it was proven in the long term to work. I don't trust. Today, I just don't trust the amount of talking heads talking and then saying things like, "Well, you have to get this."
That's creepy. That's the creepy thing about it.
And I don't like. I mean, if somebody when the polio vaccine came out, not everybody was like, you have to get this. I don't think it wasn't like you didn't have a mainstream media pushing it on you. It's like, hey, this is available. Okay, there we go.
There are some things about a lot of questions.
There wasn't a push. This push is weird. Bill Gates, what has he got to do with anything in the medical field? The man is a computer software developer, but why is he pushing this?
Wisecrack did a good video on Bill Gates. It might be a bit dated at this point because it kind of came out last year.
All right.
But it's interesting because it takes a view at like the extreme of two sides of like what's, you know, and it really actually does critically look at like what is he up to, and like, yeah, he doesn't make the smartest choices, and like that's not. I don't know. Like I said, I watched it over a year ago, but it's Wisecrack, and it just put Bill Gates Wisecrack, and you'll find the. And
you'll get Bill Gates' comedy stand-up routine this week at Stiffies.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a megahertz and a terabyte?
It's really good.
I've never met a terabyte. I wanted to megahertz.
It's really good because it takes like a really critical lens on like some of the work. It has a critical lens looking at all his philanthropy work and like how some of the things that he did, just like, well, like why did you put so much time and effort into that? Like when you really like the real source of the problem was this. Like why would you, like it was just like like I said, it's just a critical lens of like some of the work that he has been doing.
Okay.
And saying he's not like a god to be worshipped, but he's also not like Satan either.
Well,
none
of them are gods
evil.
to be worshipped. I mean, Steve Jobs was basically worshipped as a god, and look where that got him.
Yeah, can I say?
He fell out of that turtleneck.
He fell out of that turtleneck.
Yeah, basically.
Can I say one thing about the flu shot though?
All right.
So I went years and years not getting the flu shot. Basically, probably like the last time I got the flu shot was like when I was still living at home with my parents, until just a few years ago. The last 2 years I've got my flu shot, and the only reason why I have is because it was just very accessible for me because of my workplace. They literally held it at my workplace. There was an email just saying come at these times, your insurance covers it, bing bong boom, you're out. And I was like, oh, that makes it bing bong. We'll get into that later, sorry.
Bing bong.
So we'll get into that later.
Ooh,
no,
look at you.
So she
entertainress. Oh, God.
I don't know what
the fuck that was.
And
there's the first swear of the episode. Brought to you by the bell.
I'm forgetting that there's a camera on me, and I literally just made like an anime like sex face, like hentai face. You know how they stick their tongue out and cross their eyes?
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's go with that. Yeah.
Not that I watch that kind of shit, but
yeah,
anyway,
sure
I know the memes at least.
Hang on, make that face again. Do it again, please.
Thank you, Daddy.
Anyway, have not had the flu since I've been taking the flu shot the last 2 years.
Okay, fair enough.
Remember I got the flu desperately like bad, like in 2018.
No, I don't remember.
Do you remember? Like I literally like you had to throw me.
Let's be honest. I was probably in an alcoholic stupor at this point.
How are you any different than you were 3 years ago?
This is true.
No, you had to throw me in the shower because I got overheated.
Yes. Now that's what I remember.
And I actually was like crying. You know that.
I didn't have to throw you in the shower. I had to run an icy cold bath for you and put you in it.
Yeah.
And literally like bathe you like a seal washed up on the beach.
I was
bathing you like a whale. Yeah, you were crying, and I was bathing you like a whale on the beach. I was just slapping water onto you to cover your body so that you would cool down.
Okay, you're exaggerating.
No,
now.
you had gone nuclear. You were like Godzilla at the end of King of the Monsters. That's what you were. You were so hot, and I don't mean in the regular sense. You were just that look. That's
Thank you, Daddy.
Thank you, Daddy.
That's the face that launched 1,000 ships the other way.
Oh.
Thank you. Okay, we are...
So the real
shit.
one of the real reasons why I got the vaccine, I know we're past the intro. This is literally because it was so easy and accessible. I'm like, I'm part of. Take what you will interpret from this, but I was part of Phase 1B in Arizona.
Very good. Look at you go. You're making history, you little trailblazer.
Figure that out. What that means I do for a living. Anyway.
No, let's have no guesses, please.
No, but
I don't want to talk about what I do for a living.
I'm supposed to be a pillar of society. No.
Yeah, you're a pillar of salt on a bad, windy day at the ocean.
Anyway, no. So I got it because literally that I saw an email from my workplace, and I was like, oh, that sounds easy. You literally get in your car and drive in a parking lot. It's like you're taking a driving test. You just kind of, it was just easy. It was just easy and convenient.
So for anybody, I mean, as a final thought, for anybody out there who thinks...
And I wasn't worried about becoming a mutant. And if anything, it could be like an X-Men situation where maybe I develop some superpowers.
What do you mean become a mutant? Yes. So the final question I would have...
Good one.
I know, right? Boo. Anyway, the final question I do have for you is, for anybody out there listening, would you recommend getting the...
I got the Moderna one.
Would you recommend getting both rounds?
If you're going to get the vaccine, you have to do the full program. So if you get...
So would you recommend doing the program then? I want the whole program.
Totally up to you. Everybody has their choice. If they want to be part of the... If they want to be part of the Emergency Act. And I mean... No, like it's actually like a social media event in a lot of ways, because I literally, and I it's one of those things where like I pull up, I get this thing handed to me. It's this little ticket that says like include us in your hashtag by whoever organized it, the workplace that organized it.
Yes.
Said for like, put us in your hashtag, like as if I was gonna take a selfie of myself getting my vaccine.
Let me take a selfie.
And then I was like, and I like looked at the card.
Screw.
And I was like looking at the card, and it was all cute. Like it had a little band-aid, like how you get a band-aid on your arm after. And I was like, oh, like
an I voted sticker. Like I was shot.
Yeah. No. So I looked at it and I go, yep, not gonna be doing that, because I'm not somebody that posts personal things on my social media anyway.
You're not a loser. Well,
I honestly, some of my, I still treat my Instagram like that rare little. I still treat my Instagram almost like a Facebook, where I'll upload some like vacation photos or something like, but I'm not like an open book. And I deliberately choose that. I'm like, if people...
Well, this is the place you want to be an open book.
Sure.
On your podcast with your husband. Okay, so very good. Okay, so you would recommend, if you want to take it, go get it.
If you're someone that's like lazy and needs convenience, Johnson & Johnson is only one dose. And I've heard it has the most it has the highest efficacy.
What is it? The No More Tears model? I mean, Johnson & Johnson, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Just rush it into your scalp and
I know,
you'll be
that's what
okay.
I think of.
You'll be fine. Anyway,
there's a joke in there too about Pfizer, right?
Oh, wait, I didn't hear the joke yet. What's the joke?
I said there's a joke in there.
Oh, well, no.
I don't know what the hell Moderna is, but that's what I got.
All right.
Just out of convenience. I didn't put a lot of thought into it, people. I just really didn't. Call me a sheeple, if you will.
She'll be dead this time next week.
I didn't know it was FDA, not even FDA approved, until I sat there in my car getting ready to get my vaccine. And I'm looking at I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then I got all informed about the vaccine more so when I was sitting there getting ready to get my vaccine.
Well, that's great. You don't know what you're putting in your body. It's kind of like this.
Hey, dude, I took Adderall for over a decade of my life.
This is true.
I pumped my bodies with amphetamines, and this was delivered to me by my parents.
Yeah.
To pump me with
Brittany,
these drugs.
We think that you might not actually have a problem, but we perceive it as a problem, and a doctor wants to make money off of your what we perceive to be an illness. So here, take this amphetamine, but remember, no drugs, no alcohol, no fun, no. And the chastity belt will be removed once we deem you.
What does that have to do with ADD? She was having sex all over the place.
Oh, a douche.
A douche.
Okay.
Again, what's that?
I took an Adderall. I was fucking like you wouldn't believe. But you mix it with the little blue pill. And you're going, gush. Oh!
The most focused laser beam focused sex you'll ever have.
It was the most laser effective penis enhancement I ever had.
Penis.
My schlong was huge. Why are you doubting me?
You're actually wearing
Andrew Dice. Dice.
You're actually wearing your shirt from the weekend that we saw Andrew Dice Clay.
Yes, I am actually. Well, I think I was wearing it the night we went to see him actually.
Oh, really?
Or maybe I was wearing the Anthony Comey one. Anyway, we are going to move on with the episode in sweeping manner. We are going to move on to a little bit we like to call pressing those presses or pressing the presses to give it its proper vernacular. Play the music, please, Johnny.
This is the music I find too frantic.
And this is how you know the news has started. And
it's too frantic.
You can call us hack radio all you want, but my God, think of a podcast that would have this kind of production and actually was listened to. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like what you're hearing. Hit that bell, and you'll get more fine quantity on like this.
We need validation and motivation to continue doing this.
I don't.
I do.
I know you do, but I don't.
I'm hanging it by a thread here.
So here are the few stories I found of interest during the week. So a safari guide.
Yeah, I heard about this. Go on.
Was eaten by 2 lions while tracking cheetahs for tourists. Tragic. Malebongwe. Holy shit! Look at all those vowels.
Don't even try.
Tragic.
African name.
Malebongwe Mifia. I'm going to say it's that. If I'm wrong, he's not going to correct me. He's dead.
Well, spoiler alert.
27 years of
age. Did you say that?
Kind of the headline. He was 27 though. God bless him. He was out alone scouting the 22,000 hectare grounds in. Oh God, another one of these vowely words. Marikele National Park, South Africa.
That's horrible.
When the tragedy.
Why is it horrible?
When the tragedy occurred. He was following the spoor of cheetahs. A spoor of cheetahs?
Oh.
Ooh.
I like a flamboyance of flamingos, personally.
He was following a spoor of cheetahs. Cheetah. There is so much beauty. Oh, is that a lion? No.
He was following a bag of Cheetos.
He had a stick on his head. I'm going to get the Cheetos. I shouldn't make.
Will you show me the way? Show me the way.
Do you know the way?
Yeah.
Do you know where the?
I didn't even
Do you think he stopped and asked the lions, do you know the way to the cheetahs?
Yeah.
Oh no! Mr. and Mrs. What was it? Tunji! Mr. and Mrs. Anyway, he was following a spoor of cheetahs in the Maritabi Safari Lodge when he got out of his Jeep.
Oh, so it was like a park, basically, like a safari park.
He decided to get out of his Jeep and follow them on foot. At which point he kind of, he got 60 feet from his car and 2 lions basically just came out of the brush and were like, how's it going?
Yeah.
How are you doing? Hey, how you doing? You look delicious. Let's see how fast you boys really can run.
They're like, they like put on their bibs and like we're holding like a fork and knife. I like that duck meat. Sorry, that was horrible.
No, that was, ooh. No, I just think he was thinking to himself, much like the helicopter builder in Uganda, I have made a terrible miscalculation.
Yeah.
I believe that was the sound of his helicopter, by the way, after it got 3 feet off the
Sorry,
ground.
I'm sitting here like disgusted with myself. Just let me sit here and discuss.
There's
for a
no
moment.
feeling good about this because let's be honest, poor boy, his life was ended by 2 lions. Now here's the thing.
Being eaten alive. Okay.
If it's as if the story
Being
was
eaten alive is actually one of I think that might be one of the worst ways to die. Just the amount of fear you're in and how that doesn't seem like it would. There's just like your last moments of your life are the most terrifying thing you've ever occurred in your whole life.
Oh yeah, and in this case, double your pleasure, double your fun. Here come 2 lions. 2 lions
to make you come.
Wow. The music stopped. Okay, I suppose we'll just play the original track bit again then.
Anyway.
So there's the news. That's one piece of news.
No,
but
being eaten alive and getting burned alive terrify me. And being crushed.
there's a lot of things that terrify. For me, it's falling.
But being eaten alive has always given me a visceral
Yeah.
It's like being
This happens all the time in Africa. I mean, this is a tragic story on this side of the world, but this is business as usual in Africa.
I think it would be one of the worst ways to die. Absolutely.
I think so. Now, here's the thing I noticed about the news article. It made a point to make that the tourists were rich. Which just says to me, the newspaper is trying to say, these filthy, filthy rich tourists led this poor boy to his death. And all I'm thinking about is, well, he was obviously being very well compensated. They're rich. You know, it's not poor people saying, I want to go down see one of them fast cats. You know, the ones that are spotty. It's like, it's not like some Dumbo Jimbaloo.
Well, that's what these resorts
whatever.
Literally, with trophy hunting or safaris,
Yeah.
there are actually small, economically, stable communities built from this type of tourist attraction.
Yeah.
There's just no way around it. That's just how it works.
There's a reason that there's even...
And actually, as far as Africa goes, those are some of, the most, well-structured, stable work environments for, communities out there.
Yeah, you're saying that, but I mean, this guy was eaten by 2 lions.
But my understanding is
Come on.
I
don't call that stable.
He's dealing... Not stable. Okay.
Maybe he shouldn't have got out of his Jeep. Maybe his day would have been a lot more stable if he'd stayed in his Jeep.
They're supposed to be... that comes with a risk. You're dealing with wild animals every day. And, you're going in and, scouting for them.
Yeah. True.
That's just what's going to happen.
So...
What I mean by stable is, a well-rounded community that's, able to provide, shelter and education for their employees and their employees' children.
This is true. Yeah, no, I believe that. And
I don't know.
not even I believe it. I just know it's. I know it's true.
Over in Africa.
Yeah, I've heard enough and read enough to know it's true. Now.
But what I don't understand is the next part of the story.
The sad story gets even sadder. It's bad enough that tragic.
It's the circle of life.
Let me try and knock this name out of the park here. It's bad enough that tragic Malbongwe Mifia, 27, was murdered by 2 lions. Murdered?
Well, not murdered.
Well, exactly. Well, that's apparently not what they thought because, well, the 2 lions were euthanized after their meal.
So they hunted down these 2 lions?
They found the 2 lions and euthanized them, and now a post-mortem was conducted. I'm not sure if this is on the lions or on the remains of Mr. Mifia.
But if he was eaten...
yeah, but I mean, what's the reason for a post-mortem if that's the case? How did he die? Oh, well, I don't know. We found him in the stomach of a larger animal. Could be anything.
No, really, you don't know what the post-mortem was referring to because with animals they call it necropsy.
Okay.
Necropsy.
So they were performing a post-mortem on the guy who was eaten by lions to figure out the...
They didn't kill the lions.
No, they killed the lions.
But they killed the lions, and then you think they
euthanized the lions and then performed a post-mortem.
On the
That's
lions?
what it said. I mean, that's the thing. The article was...
So they euthanized...
Hang on, the article was...
So they treated these wild lions like they were a dog that bit their child?
That's the thing.
I don't get that.
The article is this is what's really funny to me. The article is specific enough to mention that the tourists were rich, but I don't know who's getting the post-mortem. I really don't know who's
I need to look, because like seriously, I'm gonna be honest with you, as I was making my own notes, I looked at that, I'm like, this doesn't make any sense, because like I wouldn't think they would treat, because yes, I understand it's a safari, but it's not like, it's like, okay, when you have animals at even the zoo, say a couple years ago, remember at Wildlife Park Zoo, that woman crossed the barrier, got bit by a jaguar or something.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, I don't know what it is. It's like an old mentality to be like, well, we gotta put that creature down. It's dangerous. And it's like, sorry, we're not gonna kill this animal based on human idiocracy. Like, we're not gonna. This is human behavior, not the animal's behavior that was a problem.
You can't hold a lion.
Behavioral issue.
You can't hold a lion responsible for acting like a lion. You can't hold a bear responsible for acting.
But the
ridiculous.
tiger that did attack, either it was Roy or what was it? Was it Sigmund?
Sigmund and Roy, yeah.
Sigmund? No, it's Sigmund
Sigmund
Which one got attacked? Either way, they're saying that tiger was.
We just know the
definitely
tiger was a doctor.
Dr. Tiger checking his pulse to make sure he was okay.
He tried to help him. He jumped up and gave me a hug and would just try to check his pulse. Look that up. That's crazy. I mean, if you're watching this, you know where I got it from. But so that I think it's a kind of a tragic story on all ends there. That the boy is dead, the lions are dead, and
still unclear on how everything panned out.
And the cheetah spoor is still unfound, which is probably the
still
saddest.
Still not spotted. You didn't have to do all that because that's why I laughed
did.
like that.
I really did. So the next story, Pepe Le Pew.
Yes.
The famous French skunk
Yeah.
has been cancelled for the upcoming Space Jam 2 movie. Why do we need Space Jam 2?
I never saw the first Space Jam.
I don't like the first Space Jam.
That wasn't part of my childhood.
It is hard to watch.
Is
it was
it?
great when you're growing up.
I never saw it. I don't think I ever really saw it when I was a kid.
It is hard to watch as an adult. I watched 20 minutes of it. It was on TV recently. I watched 20 minutes of it. I tapped out.
It was just one of those things where I get totally like blew kids' minds when it came out, huh? I just never
blow
saw
our
it.
minds. It was a Looney Tunes movie, and for most of us growing up with
And I
Looney
liked
Tunes, we'd
Looney
never seen a
Tunes.
Looney Tunes movie. You know,
Yeah, that's
we
true.
loved it. Who doesn't love the Looney Tunes? But so allegedly, according to the headline, he was a controversial French skunk, as if he was real and not, on paper.
Not a talking skunk.
I was a real skunk
A
until I got
2D
into
illustration.
cartoons. I got into cartoons, and I started chasing this beautiful little feline. We wanted to make love on the French
Riviera.
On the French Riviera.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
that's
okay,
okay.
fair enough. That's.
I wanted to play hide the baguette. With
I
her
wanted to. I wanted her.
pussy.
I wanted her pussy seeped in red wine. Because
Ew.
don't you know that is the only way that the skunk gets anywhere?
Red wine. Seeped in red wine. I don't
Yeah, why
understand.
not?
What the fuck?
But I love that the headline said he's a controversial French skunk, and it's like, are you kidding me? It's like
It's been part of the
befuddles the mind.
It's been part of the cancel culture calamity, but let's continue talking about this.
Cancel culture
Calamity. We gotta.
Oh!
I got alliterations for days here, there, everywhere. All right.
But
yeah, as we can see, there's been a lot of shit going on lately, and a lot of them are attacking innocent. I'm not gonna say they're innocent.
Cartoons. You're attacking a
cartoons.
picture of a skunk.
So yeah, Pepe Le Pew definitely. When I saw that, and when you told me that, I'm like, is it Looney? Because I just saw briefly on the news. I'm like, are they talking about all of Looney Tunes? Because like that's
my God.
upsetting.
Bugs Bunny is offensive to New Yorkers.
Yeah. But no.
I knew I should have
But
taken
actually-
that right joint in Albuquerque.
But it really did just take me. It took me 2 seconds to be like, oh, Yeah. He's a bit rapey. Yeah.
No, he's... Well, okay, here's the thing.
That's why I sat there. You're not listening to me.
Holy
I sat
shit.
there and I go, why is Pepe Le Pew being canceled? And I did sit there and I go, oh yeah, he is a bit rapey.
But he always gets his comeuppance.
No,
he always gets his comeuppance.
No, go ahead and read what actually the scene is about.
Well,
that he got cut from.
This is a scene in question that was cut. It's described as follows. Pepe was set to... Pepe. By the way, they probably cancelled because they thought it was Pepe the fucking frog. Pepe,
I hate symbol.
Let me get my newscaster voice. Pepe was set to appear in a black and white Casablanca-like Rick's Cafe sequence. Pepe, playing the bartender, starts hitting on a woman at a bar played by Santo. Who's Santo and why is she a woman? Or why is he a woman? He begins kissing her arm, which she pulls back, and then slamming Pepe into the chair next to hers. She then pours her drink on Pepe and slaps him hard, sending him spinning into a stool, which is then stopped by LeBron James's hand. James and Bugs Bunny are looking for Lola, and Pepe knows her whereabouts. Of course he does, because Lola's a slut. Probably the only one ever to give it up for Pepe
They
Le
didn't
Pew.
make her very sexy in this next one, I think, too.
They made her strong. What a bunch of shite. I mean, okay, look, this really is only something that's going to appeal to the furry crowd. I don't look at like an anthropomorphic rabbit and think, oh yeah, I want to fuck that. And I think if you do, you need to have your head examined. But anyway,
you kind of see how furries came out though when you look at some of the.
No, I just don't understand it. I don't understand. I will never understand it.
Anyway.
So Pepe then tells the guys that Penelope Cat has filed a restraining order against him.
That's wonderful.
James makes a remark in the script that Pepe can't grab the other tunes without their consent.
Okay, can we just say horrible scene anyway? I'm glad it was cut. But at least what they're so funny. It's being cut when that scene is actually creating a teachable moment. It's actually putting a modern lens on this old like outdated cartoon character.
Well,
So
yeah,
like they still are like, they're not like saying, oh, it's so funny, look what he like raped this cat in the alleyway. It's
I
like,
don't remember a time where he ever actually got to rape the cat.
no, I'm
It never
saying
happened.
he's rapey. He's like, it's like that.
He's a Frenchman. They're all rapey.
I know, and Italian men are too, and
Or two.
all that, and some particular men that I won't talk about that are like in Germany and stuff. Anyway, that's actual rape culture there. Anyway, that's a whole other.
Well, you don't want a fat one.
can of worms. But anyway.
But no, I mean, like, but the thing is.
Listen to me though.
Oh, okay.
Pepe Le Pew is that it's funny because he's like forcing. He's like, it makes me think of like Tom and Jerry made fun of it in a way in early cartoons, like when they had
I love you.
I love you,
I love you.
and it was making
My
fun of
heart soars to the sky.
yeah, and it was like just making fun of those like romantic figures in movies at that time.
This is true.
Because you look at leading men and like they literally grab women, like slap them across the face and like, now kiss me, you know what I mean? Like that's just how shit was back then. And like
MAGA.
and like what?
MAGA.
And I mean, and Pepe didn't really represent that part of it, but he kind of represents like that whole like, yeah, it makes me think of Tom and Jerry's character.
Okay.
Like I said. Anyway.
Stereotypical French skunk, and also Speedy Gonzales.
Stereotypical French skunk.
And Speedy Gonzales. De Fatima, we know in Mexico. And the land. And it's like nobody had a problem with them for years. The Mexicans didn't have a problem with Speedy Gonzales. In fact, he's a Mexican hero. If anything, take up your issues with Slowpoke Rodriguez. No, I don't want to work today. No, Speedy, you're too fast for the slowest mouse in all in Mexico.
Well, Josh, don't you know that now we have... Now today is all about people. There is a group of people, and I think they're a very loud minority out there that are going, we are offended on behalf of those who should be offended.
But they're not offended.
Like, remove Aunt Jemima from the shelves because I'm offended on behalf of African Americans
Do you
and then
know the way?
And then like African Americans are like, and black people are just like, actually she was like a real person.
Yeah.
And she actually was very successful.
It is ridiculous.
Actually, nobody in my
absolutely
community
ridiculous.
found that offensive. So actually now we're suing you for removing Aunt Jemima from our shelves.
It never ends.
Because people are sticking their nose and be like, I'm offended on behalf of others. And so anyway.
This cannot be.
Okay, here's the other thing.
Bitches.
Here's the other thing. For some reason, this is newsworthy. Because yes, it does address an underlying issue. I totally get that. This whole cancel culture shit. But like, this could have easily been done quietly. The studio had every right to edit the film and decide, hey, I want to cut this out. But why did this have to become something? It's because of stupid signal virtuing. It's like
virtue signaling.
Why did I say that? Virtue signaling.
You
kind
were
of
close.
shit.
You were close.
It's because of shit like, look what we did because we're so superior and high and mighty. Highfalutin.
Oh, my friends, I am an Irishman, and I'm very unhappy with the Lucky Charms and the depictions of the Irish as a leprechaun. I want you and you to go out and fight Big Cereal, so my Lucky Charms will be for me and never caught by nobody else. No one loves being Lucky Charms. Shut up!
God, I'm sick of it.
So yeah, but the fact that this like had to be broadcasted to all of us is what actually makes it annoying. Not the fact that it was cut from the movie. We didn't have to know about that.
I'm just gonna say this.
Why? We didn't need to know about that. Do I not make a good point?
You make a great point, but here's an addendum to that point. We did African accents earlier about a man who was eaten by lions. We felt bad a little bit, but you know what? There's no ill intent behind it. It's just funny.
Josh, I'm having to tell you, intent doesn't matter, it's impact.
Oh, does it? Really?
And sometimes you turn into a goat, and it's very cute. Anyway, okay, can I tell you a few things though? Now,
when did they cancel him?
I may have.
That's what they made SpongeBob gay, by the way, so he would be uncancelable. And now we have to endure
Just
SpongeBob.
like how one of my incompetent managers couldn't be fired from his job because he was gay. That shit happened.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that was true too.
Oh, that's true. Oh, that's true. Oh, that's true.
Do you know the truth? Do you know the truth? Okay. Everybody should know truth.
All right, now, I mean, I know some people might reject this because I will tell you my source. It was from some Fox News commentators. Oh no! Stop it! Don't share it. Okay.
Come on, man.
So.
Come on, man.
So. Here's a Fox host who said on the release of the story said, so instead of this is a quote instead of showing people a lesson, which we've all seen through books and pulp culture and cartoons throughout history, they're simply just erasing it rather than teaching people about the lesson of personal space. That was a comment made by Miss Pavlich, which I think, like I said, they even in that scene. We're showing that we reject the way that this character does act. We're making a joke about how this character acts, and we're putting and we're actually showing like, look at how look now in modern day we look at this character. Now we're gonna show you what we think about him by 2021 standards. Yeah, he's a fucking piece of shit. But we're making a joke about that.
The worst person you could try to have illustrate that, no pun intended, LeBron James.
Okay, we'll get on
the NBA.
Okay, we'll get on LeBron James a little bit later, but I think we should just talk about these cancel things. Okay, so co-host Kennedy Montgomery agreed that the scene should have been left in the movie for a teachable moment, so he agreed with his co-host. And then he went on to say, you can cancel everything. You could cancel every comic.
Come on, man.
She said, this is a woman still speaking. You can cancel everything. You could cancel every comic ever made. You could pretty much cancel everything, which leaves us as an undifferentiated blob. So she gets a little bit. But it's like, sometimes you need to see the good and the bad and the ugly in order to get like...
Great movie, by the way.
In order to get like, right? Like, have you ever learned from like seeing like the wrong thing to do?
It's the way I look at it is it's free speech. I believe in absolute freedom of speech. Do you know why? And this is very, very simple. I'm gonna give it to you. And in fact, you know what? This is a serious teachable moment in itself. I'm going to take the
teach
music.
me, Daddy.
I'm going to take the music right down. I believe everybody should be allowed to say exactly what they say because it's all intent. Do you know why? If I believe somebody is making a joke, and I know somebody's making a joke, I can say Hitler did it right.
Oh.
And it's
No, don't say
but no, the
that.
thing is like Hitler was right. Don't take this out of context because I'm making a point. There's a joke there. It's like Hitler was right. You're saying that to get under somebody's skin. Do you really believe it? No, you don't. You have the full right to say it. But if somebody says, you know, Hitler was right, you're going to be like looking at that person like, oh, I don't want to know you. You have to stay away from me now. You've espoused. No, you're fine. You can say that. But the second I see you acting on that, gonna stop you. But at least now I know to keep an eye on you in case, you know, like a guy comes in, hello guys and girls, and it's like, and then he's like, well, we're gonna get the Jew. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna corner the Jew in the bathroom.
All right, you're getting a little carried away. You're talking about censorship now. I'm just talking about.
No, but it's all censorship.
Yeah,
it's all censorship. That's why I believe in freedom of speech. That's why I believe in it being an absolute.
And you're more so talking about like in terms of like. Making a joke, how people don't take jokes and like
no. What I'm saying is you're able to differentiate between a joke and somebody being like serious about something. It's very easy to do, and you know what? If somebody truly believes in something, they're usually going to tell you. You don't like the Jews, you don't like the Arabs, you don't like black people, you don't like the Irish, you don't like the Chinese. They're probably going to tell you. At which point you kind of then know, all right, we'll stay away from him. If they're not allowed to say it, it's going to be festering like rats in here.
Festering like rats?
Festering like dead rats on top of dead rats. But here come the other rats, and they're chewing through the back.
Is that what's going on in your head sometimes?
No, mine's a
squeaky
squeaky wheel with a hamster who's very out of breath right now.
Okay, because you're kind of like spiraling out of control.
No,
right now.
it's my point about freedom of speech. You should be allowed to see every single point of view and then decide for yourself the good ones and the bad ones. And then when the bad ones have some actually intent of violence, well, we know about them already, so we shut them down. That's all I am saying.
Okay.
And back to your show.
I guess I understand what you're branching off into.
Okay.
Let's keep going though with the with these cancel culture calamity. So as we know, everything kind of happened. Like a lot of things just happened all at once. So we had this Pepe Le Pew thing. Like I said, really not that big of a deal. They literally were just informing us that, hey, the people making this movie decided how they wanted, what scenes they wanted to be in the movie. I don't fucking care. You didn't have to tell us. That's what I think stupid about it. It's like they did not have to tell us about it.
They didn't.
They didn't.
No,
it did not
agree.
have to be brought to anyone's attention. It didn't. That behind the scenes moment did not need to be revealed to anybody.
But that said, a Looney Tunes movie without Pepe Le Pew, you're gonna notice the French skunk not missing. No, you would.
I guess Pepe Le Pew did have a little scene in the first movie, and that's why I didn't know. I didn't think it was that
But
important.
no. But Pepe Le Pew had his own cartoon. Looney Tunes. You had Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck.
But when I think of Space Jam, when I think of Space Jam, I just thought of like Bugs Bunny and Lola Bunny on the basketball court. I didn't. And Donald Duck, Daffy Duck. Anyway, moving on.
Wrong property.
Moving on. We also have another thing ripped off the bookshelves recently by woke parents, and that's Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss.
Once again, not that big of a deal. The Dr. Seuss Enterprises, that publishes the books currently to this day. They made the decision after consulting educators after a time in reviewing the catalog. They decided that they would no longer publish 6 of his books in his collection.
Why?
Because of racist. What was it? Because of I had it written down here. Racist and insensitive depictions of Asian and black people.
Really?
Yeah, it's called anti-black and like Orientalism.
Here's the thing. Does anything in Dr. Seuss ever look remotely human?
No, like
no.
There is No, I'm not. They're
caricatures. They are Seussian caricatures.
See,
White people should be offended by the way we look in that goddamn book.
Okay, no.
But
okay.
we're not.
Okay.
Stop it!
These books were written. Okay, one thing I wish that Dr. Seuss, these books would have gotten the Disney treatment.
This is wrong, by the way. Do you know what you actually wish? You wish you did not crush that fish. Not with your ass did not crush that fish. You wish you could have had a dish. I wishy little fish.
That sounds like really weird fetish porn that you just recited there.
I was going for something. It didn't work.
No, it didn't.
All right, let
me make the point I'm trying to make. Yes, I know you. I'm trying to go a little bit deeper with this.
All right.
And well, I don't agree with it being a racist depiction, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't offend me. Whatever. Some of these books were published like in the 30s, okay?
Yeah.
Shit, times were different then. So that's why I kind of like the historical treatment of like when Disney like put on Fantasia, like we understand that this depicts racially insensitive, blah, blah, blah. It gives you a disclaimer. But it doesn't erase it. We talked about this a couple episodes under censorship. That's different. If they put that, they put a disclaimer on the book saying these depictions are not suitable by today's standards. But this book was written in 1937, and it's like, and it's funny.
It's like when Tom and Jerry had Whoopi Goldberg come out and talk for them.
And it is funny, because like I saw Fantasia as a kid. But it wasn't until I saw it as an adult that one character it's during the ones during like all the little centaurs, and there's a black servant girl that's like very caricature made up.
So what?
But like
it happens.
What I'm trying to say is that it kind of stopped me for a second as an adult, but when I was a kid, I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, look, let's look at this
so
way.
I don't think it like. Anyway,
I don't want to wrap I want to wrap the segment up because we have to get to one more segment after this.
Me do?
Yeah.
Okay, but can I finish up because I think I have some thoughts.
All right, go ahead.
So, like I said, this is kind of my Brit.
Dr. Puss.
Dr. Puss.
You know what? This is kind of turning into a Brits bit. So let me.
The reason it is because instead of doing a Brits bits, I started preparing. I've definitely prepared some thoughts on this cancel culture shit that we were gonna go over. Because we had like a trifecta happen recently.
Hello. This is the potpourri part of the show where Brittany gets to talk whatever the hell she wants to talk about.
You
Brittany,
like that, don't you?
Do your bit.
Okay.
I can say it far better than you, though.
Oh. Well, maybe you should do it from now on.
All right. I will.
Dr. Seuss Enterprises said they made a decision of, and I guess what they did this in March. They just did this last week, and it was actually on the author's. It was actually on Dr. Seuss. What would have been his 117th birthday.
Oh my God!
Is when they decided to do it.
Wait to take a special day away from a man who entertained millions of children.
I didn't love Dr. Seuss as a kid. I didn't obsess over it.
I didn't love Dr. Seuss either, but you know what? The Grinch, one of my all-time favorite Christmas stories.
Really?
Absolutely. It's a classic, and it was told beautifully.
And I loved his artwork. I thought it was very imaginative. Like, the places we'll go.
No, I mean the artwork. I mean, like I love the Roald Dahl artwork,
yeah.
But I mean, when you realize
that makes sense. You kind of draw like that a little bit.
Yeah, but
when you draw.
Yeah, but when you realize it wasn't Roald Dahl's drawings, it was something Blakely or Blake. I forget the full name.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it wasn't Roald Dahl drawing the drawings for the books. So I don't know if it was Seuss.
Yeah, no, maybe he illustrated everything.
He did. Okay, wow.
That's why it takes. He wrote and he illustrated. Okay, so seizing sales of these books is only part of our commitment and our broader plan to ensure Dr. Seuss's Enterprises catalog represents and supports all communities and families. Blah 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 blah. That's what. But like I said, Dr. Seuss the Dr. Seuss Enterprises has every right. What they want to do with their catalog. Once again, this is a situation where this is a situation where this could have just quietly faded out of his existence. But no, we gotta have a huge fucking event about it.
No, I agree.
And make a big deal out of it. And I'm not personally offended either way. I'm not offended by the illustrations.
I will never
But
be
I'm
held-
also not, but I'm also not offended by them making the decision not to publish them anymore.
I will never be offended by history or what history has produced
That's
because
true.
it's there.
Yeah.
I will be offended at what you do to me to offend me in real time.
Yeah.
I'm not offended. I mean, it's a way of looking like, okay, you look at these terrible things in the history. You look at Ireland being oppressed by Britain for 800 years. I'm not offended by that. Genocides. I'm not personally offended by that.
Whoa!
No, the Holocaust. I'm not. Now that doesn't make them right. That doesn't make them necessarily good things.
Anything
and
that has to do with like taking of other people's lives, I get personally offended by.
That doesn't offend me. That actually disgusts me.
Well, that's what it disgusts
That
me.
is a whole different plane. You can cause offense to anybody at any point, and sometimes by accident, just something you say. That's true offense. It's like, hey, dude, don't say that. Oh, I'm sorry, it offended you. Little bit. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, like, okay.
Sore spot. I get it.
I noticed something. You have changed your language a little bit. You used to. Now we have a friend who uses this term loosely and as a joke. But you used to throw around the things like, yeah, I'm kind of autistic when it comes to that, or you used to say autistic a lot.
I'll still say it because
No, you still say it, but I noticed
no.
I noticed you saying it only in front of people that you know it's okay to say, because you used to just say it kind of more haphazardly, and one time you said it in front of a bartender and she was like, my son has autism.
Yeah, but she took it well though. She understood what I meant.
And you did, and you're like, I'm so sorry.
Well, I don't want to cause harm with my words.
But it's funny because the way you use it.
But
It's funny because the way.
Hold on.
Whoa.
Here's the double-edged sword of that. I don't want to cause harm with my words because I don't really believe words can cause harm. But I understand that some people can be harmed by words.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
I try to run up and down the line of it as best I can. I do, because, I mean, look, there's nothing funnier than just, like, saying, like, you know, it's like retard, you know?
I stopped saying that word a while ago.
Aeroplanes, when they're landing, retard. I mean, every time a pilot lands, they must just feel dejected.
That was a
great landing, wasn't it? Retard. Oh.
There was a funny little like take on that we just saw on Rick and Morty the other night. I can't remember it because he says like, he's like talking about like the medical term for like mental retardation. That's literally, I would have become a retard.
Oh, well, no, Rick. I think there's actually people out there who are offended by the word, the connotations. Well, that's retarded.
No, he didn't say, that's not what happened.
Whatever it was was funny.
No, because he was saying like, had I let that happen, I would have actually become. I don't know. I didn't know the quip, but it was funny. It was just commentary on that.
Yeah.
But
it's true.
No, the funny thing is going back to like the way you would use. I'm so autistic. Was like talking about like being
musically autistic.
Like being brilliant. And you were comparing autism to like being a savant or being good at something.
There is
so
yes.
like that's actually a positive thing to
It is
say
a positive
like I'm
thing.
autistic.
But here's the thing, if we'd said
good.
that was a positive thing to her, she probably would have also said the baby is HIV positive. And we would have been just feeling worse about everything. So
all right, wow.
Maybe there was no winning. Maybe there was no winning.
Can I wrap up this Dr.
Please, wrap it up.
Seuss thing? So here are the 6 books that were pulled off shelves. And in fact, if you have any of these books, you might want to hold on to them because they're going to become a rarity.
Mom, are you listening?
And to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street, if I ran the zoo, Elegant, I can't even say a child's book.
If I ran the zoo?
If I ran it,
okay,
if I ran the zoo.
Maybe that one could have been problematic.
I'm sure it has some.
That one could have been problematic.
Why?
I mean, like, it was like, Dr. Seuss, yes.
Okay, I like.
What are these? Those are the monkeys. Do you want to, illustrate them a little different way? No. Okay, he's in one of his moods. He's eccentric today, folks. Let's leave him alone.
I'm gonna skip this next title because it's a little pathetic that I'm struggling with the title of a children's storybook title.
No, give me the title.
McElligot's Pool? What's Elligot's? McElligot's. McElligot's.
Show me that. McElligot's. Oh my God. On Beyond Zebra.
Okay. And then the last one was On Beyond Zero. Zebra. Scrambled Egg Super, the sequel to Green Eggs and Ham, I guess. And The Cat's Quizzer.
Oh, The Cat's Quizzer.
Yeah.
What is the square root of an isosceles triangle? You are correct, sir.
So the backlash had been brewing since 2019 when researchers Katie... I want to actually read this article, though. This peer-reviewed journal article. When researchers Katie...
Perry?
Ishizuka and Ramon Stevens published a study...
You babbling bitch! You're Ramon!
I have no idea what's happening right now. And I'm sure...
Ramon!
I have no idea.
Put this bitch in the garbage and compact her into pieces!
What are you...
Ramon!
What are you doing?
Ramon. I'll show you later.
Okay. I hate when you do this. You have no consideration for any audience.
I'm sorry, you said
member.
Ramon. I couldn't help myself.
Published a study in the journal Research on Diversity in Youth Literature, entitled "The Cat is Out of the Bag: Orientalism, Anti-Blackness, and White Supremacy in Dr. Seuss's children's books," deeming them vehicles of white supremacy.
Ooh.
So here's one example. I don't have an example from each book why they're being pulled from shelf, but here's one, and I think you might at least kind of raise your eyebrows to some of this. Now listen to this. So,
All right.
Jackson, who likes, okay, I'll skip that actually. We're blah 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 blah. Okay, and this is I believe in the it's If I Ran the Zoo actually is where this offensive scene comes from.
If I ran the zoo!
That I'm going to show you. The 3 and only 3 Asian characters who are not wearing a conical hat are wearing conical hats. So every Asian character has like the ding 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 like little rice patty hat. That's how he drew all his are carrying a white male on their heads. And If I Ran the Zoo. The white male is not only on top of and being carried by these Asian characters, but he is also holding a gun, illustrating dominance. So here he is. He's being held up by 3 Asian...
You're reading too much into Dr.
No.
fucking Seuss,
He's-
is what I'm saying.
No, dude, didn't Dr. Seuss have like deeper meaning like against like communism and shit too?
Oh, for God's sake.
But listen, no, it's
Do
not...
a Brits bits on that. I would love to hear that.
Okay, no. Okay, this is just stating the facts. There are
Okay.
3 Asian depicted characters holding up a white man with a gun. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a little... I'm raising my eyebrows. I'm a little bit amused by it.
Bemused or amused?
Both. The text beneath the Asian characters describes them as helpers who all wear their eyes at a slant from countries no one can spell.
Their names are Ching, Chong, and...
Now, Josh, do you think there's something wrong with that?
No, I don't. I honestly don't. And you know what? We could bring our good Asian friend D over here, and I bet he'd find that funny too.
Wait,
look at you! Look at you! You're doing teeth! You're doing the... Look! No, make that face again! Make that face again!
I feel...
Oh, so.
Okay.
Me, I like the fried rice.
Why is he French sounding?
Okay, I'm gonna repeat myself. So, Josh, I really want to know your opinion. Do you think something's wrong with that?
Come on, man.
What was that? Is this? Are these jokes way too low for you? Ooh, dang bang! Ow!
I think that's going to do it for... I'm cutting this off. I'm cutting this off. Thank you, Britt, for that. Just walk away.
Walk away!
Walk away, you scumbag. We're going to do our final story tonight. This is more of entertainment
Oh, really?
news.
I thought we were done with the podcast.
No, we're final story tonight. This is from a week and a half ago, but this something kind of affects me a little bit. So
Okay.
we are going to play some sad music because sad news
Okay.
now from
I'm scared.
from Compound Media,
Oh.
from the Anthony Cumia show.
Oh, okay.
Dave Landau
Hello, everyone.
has left Compound Media.
Okay.
Goodbye, everyone. It's actually kind of it's a little bit affecting. I love Anthony by himself, but he and Dave as a team was something special. It was
Something special to behold. It brought a tear to my eye and
it was very sad.
made my butthole a little moist.
And Dave, I miss your panda jokes. I miss your stories about Detroit.
Speaking of
but on
offensive
the other hand,
Asian depictions.
it is kind of fun because he is on Crowder, so Stephen Crowder, have you no shame, sir? Have you no
he
shame?
doesn't. He doesn't actually.
It's understandable. As Anthony says, it's show business, not friend business. And it's understandable. And it was great to see Dave and Anthony talk it out on you know what, dude? Bob Kelly's podcast. You know, dude. But yeah, no, I mean, it is actually a little bit sad.
surprisingly a lot
not
more
seeing-
successful than our podcast, but you know.
Well, whatever. But like, I mean, it's Bobby Kelly.
I know. That's what I was
We can't
joking.
compete with Bobby Kelly. Even body mass combined, we can't compete with Bobby Kelly. I'm sorry, Bob. I love you. I do. You big bald bastard. I love you. Not that I even know him. I just think he's hilarious. So it's great. It is great to see an alumnus of Compound Media going on to one of arguably the biggest shows on the
Alumni?
internet. An alumnus.
I think you say alumni.
No, alumni is plural. Alumnus, I believe. Is it? Isn't it the other way around?
I think just like
I don't know.
you
Whatever.
might be saying it properly, like, but I think colloquially.
What? Heather?
But it is great to see Dave do that. Go to possibly one of the biggest internet shows of all time. We wish him luck. I know you really do like Dave Landau.
Okay.
You do like Dave.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've said he's sexy.
I never said this.
Oh, that's right. You said Anthony was sexy.
No, I definitely never said that either. But
But it was
here's
great.
the thing.
But it was great because it on the Bob Kelly podcast. It was great to see that, you know, Dave and Anthony really do still respect each other and like each other. And I hope to see him back on Compound Media soon.
I don't know.
In some capacity. No, he'll be back. He'll be back, and he'll be back telling us
Hello, everyone.
once again, Dave, Godspeed, we love you, and best of luck with Crowder. And if you ever hear this,
he won't.
I'll see you in concert. I'm going to go see Davey in concert.
concert?
In concert. I'm going to see Mr. Landau in concert. I'm going to take the train with all my friends into the big city to see Dave Landau in concert. Oh, it's going to be a wonderful day. We'll get lunch. We'll mensch.
Anyway,
I don't know
There's
what
another
is
Jew.
happening.
did you have
Oh,
a...
by the way, Dr. Seuss was also known as being very anti-Semitic too.
Oh, who gives a shit? He's dead!
He's dead.
He's dead! Anyway, let's get away from the really sad music here now. And,
The interesting thing, though, while we're wrapping up here, is that it's so funny because I swear, if not a week or less, you were like, "Oh, Dave is never gonna leave the show." Are you kidding me? And then, like a week later, he left. That was so weird.
listen, folks, I don't get much wrong.
But you
I
got
don't.
that wrong.
In fact, I have a $10 bet going out with my friend in Ireland, James.
Why?
My bet is that Joe Biden it will not be president on January 1st, 2022. Joe Biden will not be president on January 1st, 2022.
Oh, can you just end very
And
quickly?
James said that he believes Biden will serve his full term fully through. So basically, I have a lot of room not to have to pay. It's going to be détente. It's going to be détente. That's all I got to say.
I'm like just making a bet of like on like when the hell is he gonna actually do his first like address, or State of the Union address?
Well,
like
he has
what
an
the
answer
fuck
for
has
you.
that even happen?
Come on, man.
Of
Come
course.
on, man. Like, I'm too busy right now. I cut off my feed.
I'm going to cut off your
can't-
mic.
And like, I won't answer questions.
Yes.
He doesn't have any mental faculties. Clearly,
No,
that's scary.
He doesn't. But you know what?
Somebody's doing something for Joe, but Joe ain't running the show, people. That's my quote now. Put it on your bumpers. And I got bumper sticker. Joe ain't running the show.
Come on, man.
All right. I think that's going to wrap the show up. I would like to thank each and every one of you for listening. I'd like to, but you're out there in internet land, and I can't get there. But, you know, if you like...
Also, his dogs got kicked out of the White House for biting people.
Yes.
We'll talk about that on another podcast.
We'll talk that on another show. That's a story for another day.
I like that, though. That's
Thank
funny.
you very much. Brittany, thank you for being here with me.
Do I have a choice?
Well, you do, of course.
You guys have seen it. I'm on camera. He had a gun to my head the whole time.
Yeah, I did. That's so true. Oh, look, there, I shot her. Oh, please, thank God. Oh, thank you. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. If you like what you heard, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and, you know, listen to us in future. You know, you never know. There may be some things you like. I really do hope that the camera portion of this worked. We'll see if it does. If it doesn't, enjoy the audio. We'll get that figured out soon enough. But for now, so long!